Charissa Bloomberg is in the house. So good to have you, Charissa. Happy New Year. First show of 2023. Hard to believe. Welcome.
Hello, Ron. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you and the listeners. I'm really happy to be back. Thank you. What an opportunity.
Thanks so much, Charissa. And I want to take the opportunity to quickly read the kickoff with this meme relating to what we're going to be chatting about that you actually sent me. I love it. It says, a mother is someone who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. A truer words have never been spoken. And the reason that I was so keen to get this down for the first show of the year is that I grew up together with Charissa in Cape Town. That's how we made the connection. And no one was closer to her mom than Charissa. I mean, they basically grew up, and her mom grew old together with her. So can I hand over to you, Charissa? Just give us a little bit about your mom, Myra, a little bit of background, and then kick in to how you handled the loss of her just last year, and then give us some tips on how we handle really difficult things when there's no mother's shoulder to cry on.
Yes, thank you, Ron. Thank you for this. My mother was my life. She was like my best friend. She was a ballet teacher. She was an artist. She did sculpture, window dressing. And she died at the age of 87 in her sleep. She wasn't sick. We still went for a walk that day, and she did a ballet class every single morning. And she raised me alone and dedicated her life to me. So I can say so much more about that, but I'm writing a book about it. So thank you, Ron. Wow. She was my life, and there's so many people struggling with their mothers, and I completely understand. The grief is horrific, and it's endless. So shall I talk about some tips that I'm doing?
Please, if you would, because, it's, I actually don't know. It's interesting. I must look at now that we're such a big show, we should actually do a universal sample of the average age of the listener on the show, because I've got a feeling that a lot of them have got mothers that are maybe too old now to help them, or just don't have mothers left at all anymore.
Yes, and you know what, Ron? It doesn't even matter what age. I know some people have lost their moms at a young age.
Yes.
So the loss, we talk about the loss is sure, it's endless. It's great. And it goes, everyone grieves differently. So, I still have nights that I cry every night. I just want to pick up the phone and hear her say, hello, darling, and hear her say, I love you. So I had to make a choice, Ron. So here's my personal experience. I had to make a choice after she's gone. My world was empty. I had to decide I can either go and join her in heaven. Seriously, we're so depressed. Yeah. Or I can think, let me carry on the legacy and everything that she sacrificed for. So firstly, I made a decision. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to carry on the dreams we had. So here's 5 or 6 little things that I did. When I cleared out her flat, I gave so much to charity, and whoever I gave it to, I said, say a prayer for Myra Bloomberg, because it elevates the person who's died soul. We're doing it for them, so mention their name. I wrote a letter for forgiveness all the time. I was impatient, and during COVID, I only came once a week to drop off food. I wrote a very sad letter. I'm saying it flippantly now, but this was really heavy and painful to do. I'm writing a book on the lessons I've learned, my mother, my life, my integrity. So people just writing is fantastic. And I had to grow my spirituality. I read books about life after death, what happens when you die, spoke to psychics. And I've seen a lot of small miracles happen when you really believe that the life and the soul carries on. I've seen incredible miracles happen in my life. So that has helped. And I do feel she's cheering me on, and that your loved ones cheer you on from heaven. And you have a choice every day to honor that person. And I think we need to honor ourselves with self-care. It's so easy to fall into a slump and not look after ourselves and eat properly, and not sleep properly, and get some grief counseling. And also, if all else fails, for me, it's retail shopping and some form of denial. It helps, because you can't be heavy all the time. But we have to find a way to process it. I've got a friend who hasn't processed it, and she's extremely ill, and she can't cope, and she can't move forward with her life. So that's absolutely critical.
Yes. Charissa, at the end of the day, just listening to we're the ones left behind. That's why you mentioned like retail therapy and taking care of ourselves. We're the ones left behind. And one thing's for sure, I don't believe they'd be happy at all if they knew that we were moping around and couldn't get our lives together.
Yes, exactly so. And I've done the crying. It gives me headaches. I feel drained. I feel washed out. But we've also got to be resilient. My mom died in COVID and there was no one who would come visit me. It was hectic.
Wow.
And there's so many times you can dump on a close friend and say, I miss my mother. What must they say? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's people get on with their lives. There's no one really there for you. So we have to build self-resilience.
Well, there you go, guys. We have to get on with our lives. Thanks so much, Charissa. And can you please round off with one of the famous Charissa B sayings?
Yes, thank you. This is a quote from myself, I want to say. There were beautiful quotes, but this is from me. If your mother is still alive, tell her you love her, tell her you appreciate her, because it's too late when they've gone when you live with regrets. I didn't know the day I woke up I was taking my car in to be serviced. I didn't know it was the day I was going to bury my mother and say goodbye, I love you the night before.
There you go, guys.
Now, people, goodbye.
There you go, guys.
Yes.
I mean, what a way to round it off. Thanks so much, Charissa. Have a beautiful week and the best of luck with your US endeavors. We'll chat about it next week.
Thank you so much, Ron. Goodbye. All the best.
Bye, Charissa.
Bye.